Welcome. I'm actually going to make a subset in the 1001 Grasshopper definitions for a friend of mine, a peer of mine, that's actually on board with me when it comes to getting into the digital media of the 21st century sculpture, and also in preparation for our classes for the fall of 2000 with COVID-19. You know, always threatening to send us home, and what will we do? So he has interest and has taken interest in some of the AR apps that can happen, but we're going to be basically going back to the basics, and let's just think about that. So I have a Grasshopper window open here. I have a Rhino window open here. I'm going to close those out or just shut them down. Actually, I probably should close them up. Put my video up, face up here. Um, and, well, let's go so far as to turn it off. So say you've downloaded Rhino, and you want to download Rhino 6 for Mac or for Windows on, basically, I'll bring this over. You're going to want to basically do that on Food for Rhino. Well, actually, Rhino rhinoceros would probably, I should have had this ready. Just type it in, you'll find the search. What is it? Rhino 6 for Mac or Windows. You definitely want to open that up, and you want to go into the download and find out the latest version and what computer you're using and download it. Shouldn't be hard to do. You can get a 3-month license for free, and then you'll be hooked on wanting it, and you'll have to pay up to the $200 fee unless you're in with a computer stream of people at a university where it can get even less and less expensive. But you want to open that up and have your Rhino downloaded. And that's all you need to do. When that's up and you can use it, you're going to want to go into your Rhino, bring it to whatever, pin it down here or whatever. You're going to open it by clicking it, and Rhino will open. I'm going to keep moving with this. I have past projects on here like crazy. But what I'm going to suggest is as you go in, you're going to want to set it very similar to this window. I would say bring in set everything. If it's Mac, set it to the window. In properties, you can go into different properties and enter under File a whole bunch of wonderful tabs that you can go through. And I'm not going to go over in detail what happens on Document Properties and Rhino Properties. You'll find out you can adjust your Mac Windows to your Mac to Windows and all these other styles. You can change your units. You can do everything. Leave it as kind of mainly the defaults, but try and get that Mac looking as similar to this as possible. In doing so, you're going to want to downsize this screen in half. And on Windows, you can just slide it over here and it slams over there, which is pretty nice. And then you're going to want to take your tabs over here and pair them by sliding over and making sure you have an ability to work in selecting points, lines, curves, circles, and other shapes. You're going to get into surfaces, then you're going to get into solids that are going to have tools for working those. You'll slowly learn to interface with this if somebody's going to teach you Rhino, but I don't want you to even bother with it. I want you to have a command line up, this push to 2, all 4 viewports open. I would recommend moving these tabs around up here until you have standard here and visibility here. Those will be the 2 main tabs that we're using, and you're going to be using a zoom select alls, and you're going to be using hidden and non-hidden forms. And then over here, you're going to want a properties tab, a layers tab, which I use quite a bit as I start bringing in geometries, and you'll want a little more information there later. You may want some rendering tabs, and you may want the materials tabs. You can inset these, and you can pull them off, pull them out into your window, and you can slam them back in, and then you can organize where they are. And I just popped it up there too far, but I want it basically on this viewport here, which I'm having a little trouble with. I think I got rid of it, so I'll have to bring it back in another way. Help menus, good for people that are working in CAD and in Rhino. I'm talking a little fast, but basically get it set up so you can see your layers file over here. You've got your tabs at the top, standard and visibility, and you've got all the other things. You won't have to do anything in Rhino if you're going to learn from me on Grasshopper. So that's enough said about that. The only thing I want you to do after setting the screen to kind of look this way, you'll notice down here I have some ortho, planar, O-snaps. All that doesn't matter. I'm not doing anything in here. Maybe gumball. I'm not overriding it. I'm not snapping on anything. I don't care. I'm not doing anything in Rhino. That's what this is all about, is getting past that whole, not need for it. If you know it and you have skills towards it, use it. Obviously, Grasshopper is a subset of this. The only thing you need to do in Rhino after setting it up is type in Grasshopper and hit enter and wait. And boom, the Grasshopper window is open. That's a big, fast intro in 5 minutes. I've got a bunch of plugins, so I've got to kind of get through them. My window's going to look different than you in Grasshopper. There's going to be a few things at the top. I'm not doing anything more in Rhino, so I'm going to move this over here, and I'm going to get my Grasshopper open. There it is. I'm going to put my canvas basically here, line it up to there, and now I'm ready to start. I'm going to start. I'm going to open a file here, which is going to be, I think, set list 65. And this is return to the basics, 65 out of 1001 scripts. And this is where I want my friends and peers and colleagues to start. Like I said, we're 5 minutes in. There's no point continuing this video. When you've got your computer screen set up like this, yours won't have anything on it. It'll just have a canvas like that where you can start. And I'll show you a little bit of interface of what we'll do here and bring up nodes. And I'll show you how I'll start thinking of working parametrically in Grasshopper in the next video. So that's pretty simple. There's no script here, but it's simply a way to begin. Thank you for watching, and we'll continue with number 65 out of 1001. And this will be marked in a special category of return to the basics, along with putting it into the 1001 scripts.